This is another episode of UFO Garage.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Joe. And this is where we talk about UFOs, aliens, and all things weird.
All things weird, baby.
Oh, dude. That was hilarious. So, all right, guys. So we just recorded a podcast.
Like 10 minutes worth of...
Which has been.
Just me talking to myself.
Hey, I gotta say, Ben had some very interesting things to say, though.
Yeah,
but yeah, let's do this again, man.
Let's do it all over
Let's
again.
do it all over again. Hey, so I guess we didn't announce this earlier. On the first podcast. But we had a winner. We had a winner for
Phoenix
the
Shaving.
for Phoenix Shaving Kit. Chris Wells.
Chris, well.
Congratulations, dude.
You won the shaving kit, the starter
Dude,
pack.
You were oh so lucky. I'm a little jealous.
There were so many entries.
Dude, there was at least like 30.
Yeah.
Bro.
And you know, we built it up and it worked out and we got a winner. And I don't know, man. It just all worked out.
It all worked out.
We got a cool hat. It's got a feather in it.
It's sweet.
Go check out the video. We posted it on Facebook.
Definitely, man. Definitely. All right, man. Well, congratulations, Chris.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Dude, what have we got on Facebook?
Let's check out Facebook too. Dan Warren, what's up, my brother?
Hey, what's up, Dan?
Today is your daughter's 10th birthday.
A special little lady.
Happy birthday to Sophia.
Yeah. Happy birthday, girl. 10, bro.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday today. It's your 10th birthday.
Yeah, dude.
That's some
that
fucking
was
listening
good.
in there,
Yeah,
dude.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Hey, did you have cake or ice cream? We want to know if you had cake or ice cream.
Because if it's ice cream,
We want you to mail some to us.
yeah.
Because I like ice cream.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
It won't melt at all.
The Big 10, bro.
I'm going to say this again. I remember when I was 10 and it was a very specific day. I was like, man, I'm in the double digits. I feel so cool right now.
That's right, dude.
Dude, I remember when I turned 10, my parents let me start to ride. They started to allow me to ride my bike to friends' houses that were further than a couple blocks away.
I think 10 is a big milestone, you know? You can start doing things like that, bro.
Man.
You can start like walking down the street alone. You
Yeah.
can start riding your bike. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when me and Jess came to your house for our stargazing trip the other night, we drove through my old neighborhood.
Nice.
And because I just wanted to see my old house. And I noticed, man, there's not a lot of street lights in Taylor.
No.
Like, bro, it's very creepy. And I used to ride my bike down those sidewalks, like
Sun
at
up
night.
to sundown.
Yeah, dude, like coming home late. You know, I mean, late as in like 10, maybe 9, 10 o'clock. I didn't really have a curfew. But like, that was pretty shady.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, when
did you do the
streetlights came
same?
on, you got home.
Yeah.
That was your cue to go home.
But there's not a lot of streetlights where I lived, at least.
No, there's really not. There's not. But also that old football field used to be lit up all the time near
right.
you guys. But
Yeah,
since
that
they
was
moved, like where the games and stuff are now.
Oh, did they move it?
Yeah, they moved it, so they don't play football there anymore.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, it's in a different area now.
Man, that used to be my favorite part of Friday nights growing up, is I could hear the band playing and all the crowd roar, and it got me so excited. Like, oh, I'm gonna. It just made me so excited. There's a bunch of people. I want to go hang out.
Because
like,
everything went down there, bro.
Everything went
the
down,
carnival
dude.
was there. The football games were there. The cook-offs were there. The rattlesnake
roundup, dude.
Dude, they were all there. It was awesome in that little park.
Was
we had so
Murphy
much
Park,
fun
dude.
when we were kids.
Dude,
God damn.
I feel like it's what's that movie, like Stand By Me? I feel like that we lived that movie.
Yeah, dude.
You know, like just walking to the park, and what did we do for fun? Like, dude, just walked around.
We just rode our bikes everywhere.
Yeah, just rode our bikes.
We pretended we were Power Rangers and we like kicked trees and shit. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah. Street hockey. We used to play street hockey in that parking lot at the old football field.
Yep.
Dude, concession stands, bro. We go to those football games, and then go into the concession stands, get like an ice cream or not ice cream, but like a snow cone or whatever.
Yep.
And be like,
just go buy some candy,
and you hope that like a girl would be behind you, and you're like, hey, can I buy some Sour Patch straws?
Yes. You want to come watch us play football behind the bleachers?
Yeah.
You're like, hey, throw me the ball.
Yeah, dude.
Throw me the ball, dude.
We used to tackle hard, bro. People did not.
Bros, people would cry every game.
Yeah. Somebody would get hurt and everybody would like run or like scatter.
Scatter! We'd all meet up in the park.
It'd be like one kid just crying by himself. Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, dude. That was a lot of fun.
That was
a lot of fun.
Dude. So anyway.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Back to
congratulations. Yeah.
Chris Wells. Yeah, you got the shaving kit. Boom.
Chris
is that what you're congratulating on?
No, I was congratulating Sophia on her 10th birthday.
Oh,
because that's what we were just talking about. That's
man,
why we went into like
I spaced
like our childhoods.
Sorry,
being 10 just like completely like brought us back for a whole second.
I spaced, yeah.
But yeah. No, congratulations on your 10th birthday.
Congratulations,
that's
Sophia.
Awesome.
You did it.
Yes. All right.
Some cool happenings on Facebook. Sorry, this is like kind of weird doing it for the second time. We'll get used to it.
Yes.
But yeah, cool stuff on Facebook. Philip Knight posted this really cool thing. Again, like if you're not a part of our Facebook group, check out UFO Garage podcast group. And if you like the page, go check out our group because it's a place where people can just post any kind of ideas. Like I used to
join the discussion.
Yeah, I mean, like me and Joe used to text each other all the time, like, "Hey, I have this idea," but now there's a place we can all go to just kind of, "Hey, I'm thinking about this." Post it, and people will kind of comment on it. Like,
yeah, definitely.
I love that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's talking about the 100th ape theory or the 100th monkey theory, and it's basically once the scientists kind of watch this community of monkeys start using tools or rocks to like open up these nuts, and there's other occurrences of it, but once it got to about 100 monkeys that started to do this physical thing where like they'd use a rock against another rock to open up these nuts or something like that, then once it got past that 100th monkey, the whole community started doing that same exact thing. And it's Philip Knight is kind of relating that to the UFO phenomenon where like, yeah, we've been talking about this for about 100 years or so, and it's been a part of the cultural zeitgeist, but now it's like it's kind of past this threshold, and I think there's been like this awakening in people that it's just culturally acceptable, and everybody's kind of, everybody, somebody that knows somebody that has witnessed things if you haven't yourself.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's I think it's cool how now it's becoming a little more acceptable, and I think now that it's becoming more acceptable, people are more like, open-minded to it. Like it's not just like a crazy man's thing anymore.
Yeah.
Like now it's really like, it's really started to take off.
Yeah. Well, even when we even started this podcast a couple months ago, there was some taboo to it. I mean, yeah, it's almost like it's almost happened in this summer where the topic of UFOs is very real. I mean,
I think maybe in the same discussion it talks about things that you think about, it brings it into reality.
Ooh.
Do you think maybe like since we started like really thinking about it and talking about it, like just super like out in the open, like it's becoming kind of our reality,
right?
Like not to say that like the UFO like everything just blew up because me and you started talking about it, obviously, right? Because we've been talking about this for a long ass time, but like in our realities, it's like it's really becoming like just like kind of a big deal now, to other people around us and just in general, like,
right?
We see a lot more of it,
dude. So I almost kind of riffing on that, like I almost posted. I'm looking at the thread. I don't think I actually posted it. Maybe I chickened out, but I kind of was thinking about that, like the fact that maybe once a lot of people start thinking about a certain thing in a very specific way, who's to say that we're not manifesting these things? Which is pretty trippy to think about. Yeah, it's out there, but maybe it's something to think about. I mean, somebody at some point said, horses are not fast enough and they stink. What's a better way to do things? And then, oh, well, it's happening now. Whereas maybe that's not the best analogy, but I think there may be something to like everybody wanting something and then like thinking about something specifically, and it just kind of happens.
Right.
We create it.
Yeah. So like now now since everybody is starting to think about it, now UFOs are becoming a thing. It's kind of like Bigfoot, like how there's still a lot of people out there who think Bigfoot is total bullshit, right? But there are a few people who totally believe in Bigfoot, and they seem to manifest it, or they seem to like have more encounters than people who don't believe in it, right?
Right.
But if a whole slew of people started being like, yo, Bigfoot is the real deal, like, would we start seeing more Bigfoot sightings?
I think so, man.
You know,
I lean towards that. Dude.
Yeah.
I think there's something that we just can't comprehend yet. You know, I think it's maybe not just that, but it's also that. Yes, these things are physical and they're real, but it could also be because, not entirely because of this, you know, awakening and people kind of manifesting this thing. Maybe it's just a culmination of a bunch of stuff that we just don't know how to put into categories yet. You know, it's cool to think about. I mean,
it is pretty cool. Yeah. I think somebody was talking about like the experience, and like if you have an experiment and how the outcome changes upon the observation.
Oh yeah,
of it,
and like
right?
quantum physics.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing, because like you're observing, like life is an experiment basically.
Yeah.
And as you observe it, it kind of changes the outcome of the experiment. You know, so you can just think on it like on a grand level like that of like every like day-to-day life.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm observing today, I'm manifesting what is happening in front of me at all times.
Right. I think it's something that to kind of think about, like when you are observing something, it becomes whatever you're observing, it affects the thing that you're observing. And I think there was, you know, this famous experiment done with like the light with the proton or photon maybe, and it was like trying to decide if it was a wave or a particle, but it happens to be both because it's like in superposition or something like that.
Right. So they wanted to observe if it was a particle, and they were like, well, yeah, it's a particle. Look, we're observing it. But then they were like, but I observed it as a wave.
Yeah.
And so then they started observing it as a wave, and it started acting as a wave because that's how they were observing it. And that's how they figured out that everything pretty much in nature can be this or that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw this pretty cool illusion image where it was a bunch of, remember the like lunch trays that you would get in like middle school?
Yeah.
Where there's little cutouts where each little section of food should go. Well, there's a bunch of those, like paper plates, some of them, styrofoam plates in these trays. And the light source is coming from a specific angle at first. And the title was like, once you see if they're upside down or not upside down and you see the opposite, you'll never go back to seeing it upside down or opposite, if that makes sense. So at first it looks like everything's facing up to where everything's concave. But when you think about, what if it was convex? And now everything looks like it's convex. And the shadow's on the opposite side. And I literally couldn't do it. I couldn't convince my brain to, okay, now switch your perspective.
Yeah, switch
now everything's
it back the other way.
Concave. I couldn't do it. But I'm usually pretty good at those illusions where like, hey, once you see it this way, you can never go back. I'm pretty good at seeing the opposite thing. But this one really fucked me up. Like, I kind of want to, maybe if we remember about it, I'll post it.
Dope.
But anyway, maybe that's related. Maybe it's not.
Yeah, that's cool. That's pretty cool. But yeah, dude. Yeah, totally.
Totally, dude. Totally.
Totally.
Well, what else we got? Pretty funny video that Joseph posted with that alien costume.
Yeah.
Derek posted that badass photo with that mask. Dude,
that's a cool shirt.
Dude, that shirt looks pretty good in that blue color,
it does.
man.
It looks really good.
That's pretty cool. Also, my hair kind of looks like orange. I don't know.
I think it's just the blue.
Yeah, okay. And then the lava tubes.
Yeah, the lava tubes in Arizona. Because we were talking about how like we met those people who lived in Sedona, and they were talking about the lava tubes that the military had moved into
using.
Yeah, they were using it, and apparently they had some sort of technology that came from the Philadelphia experiment that they moved into these lava tubes.
Into the lava tubes.
And they were also building like a dam up in the Flagstaff area, is from what I understand.
Okay.
And so they were bringing in all this material.
Oh, right.
And people assume that, they're bringing in all this material for building the dam. But there was already all the natural resources there in the area to build the dam.
Yeah.
So all this stuff was going, nobody knows.
Right. Was it our buddy at that store that was telling us about this like newly built house that they were building?
Yeah.
And there's 18-wheeler after 18-wheeler, night after night, bringing supplies into this like pretty residential looking house.
Uh-huh.
And it had like this little underground thing that these trucks would just disappear into. Some of them would, or just park in front and they would unload stuff. But this house was already built. So they kept bringing in supplies, making it look like, oh yeah, they're just building this house. But
more and more stuff.
Just more and more stuff, like 18-wheeler after 18-wheeler full of shit.
And then when they finished, they tore it down.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, when they were done, they just tore it down.
What? Dude, that's weird.
Yeah, that's a trip.
Yeah,
that's
man.
a trip. But I get a feeling that maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah, dude, I think so, man.
It has something to do with it.
Some lava tubes. I mean, that's a natural walkway or place to hide things that's already done for you. I mean, you hear all the time about our government making tunnels throughout the whole country to go from one base to the other. There's like, what are they called where they're like really fast train things, hyper something, but it's underground. I believe
like the light rail or
something like that.
Yeah.
Some experiencers have talked about in the past, like, yeah, it's underground and there are these huge tunnels that go all around the country, and you get on this gravity rail or whatever. It's almost like a roller coaster. I don't know. It makes sense that maybe you would use something natural if it's just local or something.
Yeah. You don't have to spend all the money digging it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
Damn.
So the Impala.
Oh, yeah.
So people were asking, what's the significance in the 64 Impala in the place of the UFO? Yeah. Well, me and Ben decided that if we're ever going to cruise the universe, we're going to cruise in the 64 Impala.
In style, baby.
In style, right?
Baby.
Because UFOs don't seem like they're very comfortable.
Yeah, man. I mean, where are you going to... It's just a circle in there.
Yeah, it's a circle, and there's 3 chairs.
And they're really small.
Dude, we could fit way more people in the Impala.
Hell yeah, man.
There's way more sitting room in the Impala than there is in a UFO.
And you said they had bucket seats, though, right? So
no. These are big old bench seats.
Bench seats.
So you could fit like 5 people in the front and like 7 in the back.
Hell yeah,
and you
bro.
could fit like another 12 in the trunk.
No seatbelts, though.
Yeah.
No seatbelts.
No seatbelts. We don't need them. We don't need them. Because we'll have our own gravity bubble.
Yeah, a little bubble around us.
So, it's not going anywhere.
As soon as we figure out this anti-gravity thing, we're going to duct tape that shit to the bottom of a Impala and let's go.
Yep.
Do it,
on all 4 tires, dude.
Yeah,
we'll just take off, bro. Yeah, I mean, if the UFOs use 3 of them, we can just add another one.
Use 4.
We just need one more.
Yeah.
Make it hot.
Make it real hot.
Dude, that'd be sweet.
Sweet.
Yeah, so, we're the UFO Garage podcast, so we need to have something classic.
Yeah, we got to tie it back in. Is it, I mean, so is it clear that it's, like, there's blue stuff? I kind of set back the blue little haze underneath a little bit. It wasn't as pronounced as the UFO. I think I might bump that up a little bit.
Yeah, bump it up a little bit.
I think I might bump it up a little bit.
Bump it up.
Bump it up.
Yeah, dude. I think you should.
Man, I wish we could have got into that Pappadeaux thing we were talking about when we were, because that was so funny.
That was hilarious.
I was talking about, so I went to dinner with my parents a couple of nights ago. We went to Pappadeaux here in Austin, and we had this waiter that was
Pappadeaux eating on shrimp. I think it's a Mike Jones song.
What's the rest of it? Dude, you spouted out a whole thing of it.
Yeah, dude. Eating on shrimp. Yeah, it's, I'm a pimp. I walk with a limp. Step aside, Pappadeaux eating on shrimp. Yeah, dude. I think it's a Mike Jones song. And if it's not a Mike Jones song, it's definitely from here.
That's amazing.
It's definitely from here.
It sounds like some Texas hip hop, dude. That's
Step
dope.
aside, Pappadeaux eating on shrimp. Yeah, dude. That's like some started from the bottom, now we're here kind of shit.
Dude, I love it.
You're like,
go to Pappadeaux.
Hey, we're going to Pappadeaux and we're eating shrimp tonight.
You made it.
Fuck it.
Dude, it's so good.
Hell yeah.
It's so good, dude.
Yeah. I like Pappadeaux.
I got some like this Texas redfish with that Creole dirty rice with the sausage in it. Oh my god, bro, that rice is crazy. Dude.
Tell me the story about old Butterfingers.
Oh yeah, so
Mr. Butterhands.
Our waiter, he's pretty goofy. He kept forgetting shit. I think he had worked a really long day, but he at the end of our meal brought out one of those trays, those old school trays of the actual dessert on the tray, like, hey, so we got this, we got that, and we got this. And like 90% of the things had this ice cream scoop on it. But he proceeded to tell us, like, so this actually, we didn't even ask. He was like, so this is actually butter. And then he stuck his whole hand in the fucking scoop of butter. And he tried to play it off like, it's, okay, so I just stuck my hand in this butter. And then he continued to tell us the rest of the desserts with this big mound of butter on his hand, like pointing to each thing.
Like pointing stuff? Yeah. Like butter falling on the...
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. It's like pointing... He got so close to each thing, and there's just butter everywhere. Like, bro, maybe not use that hand.
Yeah, use your other hand. It's just slinging butter across the room.
Yeah.
Oh, God. That's hilarious.
That was great.
Pappadeaux.
Eating all shrimp. Yeah,
yes, dude. Yes.
So I've been paying attention to YouTube on the Area 51 raid party, the big event.
Yeah.
And I sent you that video. How much did you say you watched of it?
It was like a 30-minute video. I probably watched like 20 minutes of it.
Okay. Yeah, that was a long video then.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. It was really like honest. It wasn't trying to make the event like more than it was.
Absolutely.
They didn't go to the event in Vegas. I guess it was the 19th. There was like this huge thing in Vegas.
Right.
But yeah, it was like a really honest account of what that event was, the Raid Area 51 thing. I mean, it's a huge deal. Like, it kind of started out from this dude. What's his name? I wrote it down earlier. Well, I did write. Oh, no. I lost it. How
many people ended up showing up to that?
It's Maddie something. Well, I can't really find an actual number.
Yeah.
Some people say 75. Some people say 150. Some people say 1,000. So I don't really know.
I heard like a couple thousand showed up.
A couple thousand, yeah.
But it's far from 2 million people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's definitely more than 75.
I think it was definitely had to have been more than 75.
I think it was more than 75.
Yeah. Like the video that I sent you, I mean, it's just like a group. It's like four people. They do cool videos. I don't have it pulled up, or else I'd give them a plug. But
yeah,
it's like it kind of bummed me out because most of it was just these vendors. And that's like people selling the same. Remember, we were talking about the same T-shirt, and that same alien blow up thing. And it's like, okay, yeah, there's people there, there's music, but it's mostly just people selling knickknacks.
Yeah,
and it kind of bummed me out, dude.
Yeah. No, I know, and it's like, okay, if I'm gonna be a vendor, I'm gonna go to these events, and I'm just gonna sell shit. But I'm gonna sell the exact same shit as the guy next to me, and then I'm gonna walk around and buy some shit from a vendor that I'm already selling.
Right. It's almost as if they almost like, as if they buy shit from their next door neighbor for a discounted price and like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to sell it now at my thing. Yeah. I don't know if that actually goes on, but it was mostly just marketing and selling merch and t-shirts.
Like there was
just trying to capitalize.
There was more people selling shit than there was like people there trying to like learn about it, or be into the subject. Like obviously all these people are into the subject, right? But yeah, there was just more people there like just trying to sell shit. Yeah,
it kind of bummed me out.
Yeah, totally.
I think maybe. That's just one person's account. Maybe there's some other stuff that happened that was pretty cool. I mean, I did see a video, that same video where. I'm blanking on his name. Jesus. Corbell.
Jeremy.
Jeremy Corbell was in this little interview. So I bet that was pretty cool. It was like a one-on-one interview type situation. So I bet it was cool, like hearing them speak. But then, I mean, I really didn't see anything other than that. I saw some bands playing, but it was mostly just like, people peddling their stuff. And oh man. So yeah, apparently the people at the gate at Area 51 were super cool. Like the police officers, the people, I guess the first day they had a couple hundred police officers out there because they didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
And then by the last day, there was like 10.
Yeah.
And they were super cool. So I'm really stoked that
I saw some videos.
They handled
of
it
the cops,
so well. They're such cool. I mean, they're just people, man. They're just doing their job.
Like I saw this one video where they were like, "Hey, if you weren't here, what would you be doing?" And the cop was like, "Sleeping."
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, you just go home and go to sleep?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'd be sleeping right now." You just worked all day?
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked all day.
Somebody asked, like, "Hey, what would you have done if there was like 10,000 people out here?" He said, "Probably the same thing that I'm doing right now, just standing here, like
making sure you don't do dumb shit."
Dumb shit, yeah. Apparently, one girl had gotten arrested like by running through, but one out of, dude, that's a pretty good number.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was pretty stoked to see that it was handled really well. Like that nothing big happened, and
yeah. I'm glad they didn't get mowed down by drones and turrets and stuff.
Yeah,
that was cool.
That
was cool of Area 51 to not kill everybody.
Yeah,
shout out to Area 51.
Shout out, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But
I mean, it's still cool that whether it was 75 people or 1,000 people, like that's still cool that people actually went out and did something random like that. That's pretty cool.
And it seemed like everybody's kind of counting on it being a thing, like it's going to happen next year.
Yeah, like they want it to continue.
I'm almost thinking about maybe let's go next year.
Okay.
I mean, it looked pretty cool. It kind of bummed me out about the vendor thing, but I think next year, I'm a late adopter.
It's kind of like the 100 Monkeys thing. 100 monkeys showed up. Now next year,
now everybody's
going.
Yeah, I mean, it did seem like kind of a Burning Man vibe. Like everybody's out in the desert. Everybody's got like an RV and stuff. I kind of see it being a kind of a cool community where everybody's maybe bartering for different things like water, food, and I'd love to go out there and do like a barbecue and just have a big barbecue.
Hell yeah, that'd be awesome.
Like give food away, like hot dogs or something. That'd be kind of cool.
Podcast out there, dude.
Just like it's a big tailgate. Yeah, do a podcast out there. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
I mean, it's beautiful out there. It's awesome. It'd be cool to go. I'm down to go next year.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Put it on the calendar.
Let's do it, dude.
We're doing it.
Also on the calendar is Alien Con.
Alien Con
in February. 2020. Dude, I'm so down. San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm down too. We're gonna be having Lorian Fenton.
Yeah,
on,
episode 20.
Episode 20, dude. It's going to be a big one.
Yeah, Lorian Fenton.
Yeah, Lorian Fenton's going to be on, hopefully. I think she emailed us, right?
Yeah, I think we're good to go for next Friday.
And she's got some crazy stories.
Yeah, she was one of the people that we met at UFO Congress.
She's one of the people that I'm most excited to have on,
dude,
for sure.
I'm so stoked.
For sure. She told me some cool stuff.
Yeah.
She's gonna take us to school, man, for sure. Mm-hmm. For sure. Like some of the stuff she was telling me was blowing my mind, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
dude,
I'm excited to have her on, and she's the one who's going to be putting on UFO Con 2020,
right?
And we'll have to ask her if we
can get a booth,
if we can come out,
do some live podcast there,
do some live podcasting and stuff. Yeah, so
it'd be super sick.
Everybody out in that area, man, make sure you go and check it out.
Or UFO Con.
She's supposed to have some really cool guests too.
Yeah. So the way she described it is, it's kind of it's not really for people that are looking for the mainstream speakers. It's all like, it's a pretty small event where if you really want to go and listen to some people talk about legit experiences, I mean, I'm not even putting that in quotes. Like I definitely, it seems like it's a very intimate setting.
Yeah.
Where you get to hear some real accounts and listen to people talk about their experiences and their, some people have been abducted. And I think, man, it's just, I think it'll be a totally different experience than UFO or UFO Congress. Like, there's not, I mean, yeah, like it was awesome seeing Richard Dolan and everything, but it's like, he's like, I love that guy, but hearing people talk about their own experiences would be super dope.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and it's gonna be kind of like like you said, like a more of an intimate setting where sometimes like the we talked about this earlier on how like the fame kind of goes to people's heads a little bit, I didn't really see too much of that at the conference, right? Everybody seemed like pretty level-headed, down to earth. But we weren't in we weren't like in the know. You know what I'm saying? So we don't really know how these people are in their personal lives. But this what she was saying, it's a little bit different because these are people who have some like legit experiences that aren't like publicizing it or like just kind of
they're not making a living off of doing this. This is like a very private thing for them, but hey, they're going to be out there talking about their stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's a huge difference. That makes a huge difference. And I think we're kind of talking about like the contrast between someone like maybe like Travis Walton, who had like a really experienced. I mean, I know he wrote books and was, he's kind of like a big deal, but he was actually an experiencer and there's lots of evidence pointing towards it. Yeah. And that contrast between him and like maybe Emery Smith, which I mean, honestly, I think so. Lauren maybe we'll ask her about her opinion on him, but right now, like, I don't really know if I believe him. I think he definitely experienced something, right? But there's no proof. Like,
Travis, they were kind of like the pioneers of this, dude. Like, they were like, I mean, what other like big story do you know? Like, Betty and Barney Hill, like, Other than that, I mean, there are some, right? But Travis is like really like, got some traction to it, right? And that's like he's a really big name, But like I said, dude, like some people may be like doing it like just to like make money off of the community, and like that's a little fucked up. Right?
Yeah, I think that kind of goes into what we were talking about, like the Area 51 thing and all the booths. Yeah, it's kind of in that same realm. Yeah,
like you're just there to kind of exploit it.
Yeah, and it's kind of icky.
Exactly. Like you're not producing content. You're not producing anything worth value.
The people selling T-shirts and blow up dolls of aliens.
Yeah, all you're doing is selling crap that people are gonna throw away. Right?
Things that you don't need.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Shit that you don't need. You're just like selling stuff. Which there is a market for that. Right? Don't get me wrong. There is a market for that. But yeah, it seemed like there was just more people there selling shit than there was like actually there to go learn some stuff, right?
Yeah.
So like we were talking about like with me and you, like obviously like we sell T-shirts and stuff like that. Yeah. But we're also producing content. Yeah. And if people enjoy that content, they may be willing to buy a shirt.
Yeah, they're supporting the content that we're putting out. And exactly. I mean, it's something that we really love to do, and I mean, one day I'd love to do this full time. But
it helps us. And it helps us like continue to do this. It's going to help us get cameras. It's going to help us travel to conventions. So like if people from like I said from like San Francisco, if they listen to the show, they may buy a shirt. And like that's cool because that'll help us get tickets to go to San Francisco and be able to do this.
Yeah, and we're getting closer to getting having enough money to buy that GoPro, dude. The first GoPro, man. We're really close,
sick, dude. Yeah, dude. I'm pretty excited. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Like to everybody who has like bought merchandise and like is kind of hopping on this journey with us. Yes, because I mean that's super important, and we'd like to get the word out too, and most importantly, like being able to go do this kind of stuff is like. The shit that we learn, man, is so cool. And I think that's the biggest part of this is I love learning all this new stuff. It's super awesome. So, while, yes, like, it's shitty that some people go out there and they just kind of, exploit, the situation just to make a quick buck off of it. Right. Also, there's a flip side to that on, like, making a little cash to, like, help you further your journey in this whole thing.
There's a big difference there. I think people see that.
Totally
but yeah, so the second video that we that I just watched before you came over about the Area 51 raid is another group of people. Really awesome video. I only watched about 10 minutes of it, but it was like they got there on the 19th at the Vegas event, and it's like Bud Light is sponsoring the beer. There's like a new beer can design and everything. It was so corporate. and like there's booths of people like signing autographs and things like that. It was just and one of the guys that's a part of this group is like, not everybody in this group, this video group, is into aliens. There was like 1 or 2 guys, and they were so bummed. They were so pissed. Yeah. They were like, this fucking sucks. We're just trying to sell a shit. Damn it. You know?
Yeah, no, that is total bummer. Because it could have been like, it could be cooler.
But okay, yeah. So I'm kind of just playing devil's advocate here. Now I'm thinking. So we already kind of expressed like how we feel about it. So what's the flip side of that? Like, what if it wasn't so corporate? What would be happening? Like, would they have somebody on stage talking about their experience on UFOs? Like, with that many people, it'd be pretty hard to hear the speaker.
Everybody hear me in the back?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't need to be sponsored by Bud Light to hook up a microphone.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, yeah, it is cool because when you are sponsored, those sponsors help you put on the event, right? Yeah. But I'm not going to pay you $100 for a fucking autograph.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, the ticket alone, and then getting in, and then the drinks are overpriced or whatever, and then... Yeah, maybe there's some cool music, but I don't know. There's something to be...
I don't listen to techno.
What was that music? The... I went to the store. That was a terrible reenactment of that band. I won't say anymore. But yeah, I don't know. That's my 2 cents. I feel like we're kind of on the same level, or same wavelength on that.
Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, like I said, dude, like, I mean, it's like sponsorship and stuff like that is fine. I'm not gonna pay you $100 for for an autograph. I'll just catch you when you leave the booth, say what's up, shake your hand.
So you can't ever sell an autograph for $100 now.
That's fine. I mean, I figured
I don't think I'll ever sell an autograph.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way, dude.
Yeah, my cutoff.
I think that's kind of lame, dude.
Yeah, my cutoff is 50. Other than that, you're just being greedy.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna sell an autograph for $50, dude. Like, no, that's retarded. Like, if we wrote a book, you already bought the book.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll just sign the book for you. Like, yeah, you already. Thank you for buying the book. I appreciate it. Like,
you're done. That's cool. That's like EA Sports. The video. Like, okay, so you bought the video game.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so if you want to keep playing the video game and like be really, get everything you want, which should already be in the game in the first place.
Yeah,
a little microtransaction here and there. Like, that's kind of fucked up.
You're like, I'm not doing that.
Nah, man. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's the corporate kind of spiel that I kind of... Am I saying that right? Is it spiel? Like Spielberg?
Spiel?
Or is it spiel?
Spiel. Yeah,
Spiel. I feel like that's a Czech word or something. Spiel.
By the way, you can check out our merchandise at UFOGaragePC.com. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So, I mean, that's kind of my thoughts on that, but I don't know. My favorite thing is that we're able to continue doing this, this content thing, and just to keep doing this podcast and talking about random shit.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, absolutely. Anything else is just a plus, and it just helps us make the podcast better.
Yeah. Seriously.
So that's pretty awesome.
Dope.
That's pretty awesome.
Dope. All right, so we got a little surprise for you guys.
Ooh.
I received a call from first it was my mom and then it was my dad. I actually both talked to them about a friend that they know, and they said, "Hey, I've been listening to your podcast. You're a potty mouth. Stop saying awkward stuff. You're making me feel uncomfortable. Stop talking about dick pillows." Like,
that's hilarious.
So I had to get over that. All right, Mom.
On that note, I just want to say thanks to all the people out at Newton Nursery. I walked in there today, and the checkout lady was like, "Dick pillows!"
Dick pillows!
And I was like, yes, all right.
That's like the fucking most random specific thing to get called out on.
I know. It was great, dude. And then she started talking about things, and I had to think in my head, damn, did we talk about the hybrid chick and all that stuff? And I was like, man, you've really been paying attention. That's awesome.
So
and it made me
awesome.
feel so good because everybody in there was then oh yeah. And I'm like, man, you guys got like 18 episodes. How am I ever going to finish all these? And I'm like, that's so awesome.
That's so cool.
Thank you so much for listening to it. Because
Seriously.
it was just super random. Like, I mentioned that I do a podcast, and then, like, I come in, like, a month later, and people are like, yeah, dick pillows!
Dick pillows!
I'm like, yes, you're, like, the 8th person that appreciates that.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for it.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go check out episode 2. That's like the least listened to episode because the very beginning we do a fake sponsor. I actually took it. I edited it out. I'm gonna put it back in.
Put it back in.
I'll put it back in.
People love it.
I don't know. Whatever.
Some people love it. Some people hate it, and some people think it's okay.
It's just okay. So anyway, yeah, we have a little surprise for you. So I actually got to talk to an experiencer by way of my parents, and it's this woman. We'll call her Susan. They've been friends for, they met like maybe 40 years ago, maybe 50. I'm not trying to give away my parents' age or anything. Let's say some years ago.
Your parents are only 48.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. So it's this family friend, and they told me, hey, I've been listening to your podcast. I'm really embarrassed by you. But anyway, you got to hear this story from a family friend. I don't know if we've told you this, and it's the wife of a gentleman that I kind of knew growing up. It's like one of those like friends of your dad's that you knew like in childhood or whatever.
Yeah.
But you haven't seen since you're like 8 years old or whatever.
Exactly.
And I've never heard this story, but they told me a little bit about it. Just kind of like an overview of what they remember her telling them. So this is my dad's buddy's wife that has experienced these abductions since she was a little girl. And so as soon as I heard that, I was like, I have to talk to her. Please give me your number. And, they reached out to her, made sure she was comfortable with talking to me and stuff because it's a pretty big deal to her.
Yeah.
She doesn't want she's not about that. This is just something that happened in her life. Like she's not trying to make money. She's a business owner, very smart, well-spoken woman.
Right.
And it's not. She doesn't want to be defined. That's kind of why we changed her name and everything. We want to respect her wishes and everything.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's a pretty cool story. So I got her on the phone. Super super nice lady. And it was a really nice experience. First off, so I call her and I say, hey, thank you so much for taking this call. First off, I want to let you know that the reason I'm calling you is because this is something I'm really passionate about. Me and my buddy started this podcast, and I want to be respectful to you. And I know that this might be a big deal for you. So I would love to have you come speak on the podcast, but I'd love to just talk to you first. And she was like, well, actually, I just kind of want to talk to you to make sure that my story was even cool enough to share.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool. So at that point, I'm like, all right, cool. Well, maybe it's just something really light. Maybe she just saw some cool stuff in the sky. Dude, I gotta pee, so I'm gonna stop it there.
Okay. Jesus, man. Well, I gotta say, those of you who are listening, I'm glad you didn't have to sit through that cliffhanger because I haven't even heard the entire story. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you know what, man? I'm so ill prepared. Let me pull up my notes. So I'm like reading from the actual source. I can do it from memory, but I'll like kick myself later. Like, oh, I should have
thought about that.
Damn it,
dude. In the meantime, though, hey guys, don't forget to go check out. What is that?
Oh, it's that video.
Yeah, guys, don't forget to go check out Abduction 51, abduction51.com.
I was watching
there are
X-Files.
one of our sponsors, and those guys are still kicking it. They're still cool. I enjoy their
Abduction
stuff.
51.
Abduction 51. Yes. And also phoenixshaving.com.
Phoenix Shaving.
Yeah, Doug. We had our winner who's going to be receiving the box from Phoenix Shaving.
I'm so jealous.
Damn, dude,
man.
I know. It's such an awesome kit. Having Doug on was such a pleasure. It was great having him on last week. That was pretty sweet. And I'm excited for next week as well.
That episode got quite a bit of the listens this past week. Like it's shooting up like way past even the episode 16 or whatever it was.
Wow.
Or
Nice.
17 it was.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Hey, do you guys like the guests? Let us know if you're into the guest thing. 'Cause,
Definitely.
I mean, even if you're not too bad because we're going to be having some more on. But yeah. So
I want to have somebody from our group on the podcast.
That would be cool.
Like, let's do it. Maybe not another raffle. Just like hit up a couple people that always post, like, and just say, hey, do you want to just come be on the podcast? Because just like shoot the shit, you know?
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be all about I was abducted. It could just be another buddy that we're talking to. Like,
I'm down
about this.
I'm
this
down.
Stuff. Because I mean, that's the whole point. Is like the reason we started this podcast was just the bullshit about this.
Yeah, definitely. We should definitely reach out to some people for sure.
Yeah,
and see if they want to come on. They can just call in and we can just chit chat.
Dope. All right, so back to the story. Okay, sorry for that cliffhanger.
well, if you're listening to it, you just started hearing us ramble on about something completely different. But to me, it was a total cliffhanger.
You're just sitting there. But you were like, "What do I do? Go on Instagram now?
What do I do? I don't know what to do with my hands." So, but at least I got another beer out of it. That's pretty sweet.
There you go.
That's pretty sweet.
All right. So back to the story. So this is Suzanne. Did I say Susan or Suzanne?
I think you said Susan.
Susan, what's up, Susan? All right, so get her on the phone, and we had this great conversation. I realized that I should have, when you talk to somebody and you're like, man, I should have asked that. That kind of happened a lot because this is my first time actually if you can call it like getting information, investigating a story. Yeah. So I was not prepared. I'm new. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So anyway, this is the story. So I get her on the phone and she says, well, where would you like me to start? And I said, well, start at the beginning. And she said, well, okay. Well, the first experience that I had was when I was a little girl. She didn't really tell me the age, but she said she was laying in bed asleep, and she lives out in the country in a town called Bowie, Texas. It's like near Dallas. She's laying in bed. It's at night, and she hears this. She's awoken by this really loud sonic boom. Shakes her walls. It's so loud. She wakes up like really startled. So her parents' room is down the hallway. So I think it's like a 1-story house. She didn't mention stairs. Mm-hmm. So she walks out and gets out of bed, looks out the window, doesn't see anything, and then gets out of bed and then goes in the hallway. And as she's opening her door, almost immediately, I mean, she didn't specify how long she stayed in bed, if it was like immediate, but as she's opening up her door from her bedroom into the hallway, these 3 beings walk through her hallway wall. Like there's no doorway, it's a wall.
Jeez.
And she said they're the brightest light, but you could still see a silhouette, like a humanoid figure, like a head, shoulders, arms, legs, torso. And there's 3 of them. There's two shorter ones and 1 really tall one. And it was almost the head was almost to the ceiling. So let's take like a typical Texas house, maybe 10-foot ceilings.
Yeah.
So that's like 8 to 10 feet tall.
Damn. Yeah, that's big.
And I'm thinking like as a kid, everything's taller than you. So maybe it's something like that. But she specifically said almost as tall. The head almost touched the ceiling.
Damn.
So I feel like that was a pretty interesting little bit of information. So she walks out, sees these 3 beings kind of just melt through the wall, and they're just really bright lights, like the brightest light, and she had to like cover her eyes a little bit. And she said, before she could react, the one in the middle pointed something at her, almost like like something small. She said it was something small. It wasn't maybe like the size of like a screwdriver. Just pointed it at her, and she felt this immense pain in her forehead, and everything went black. And then the next thing that she remembers is waking up on the floor and in the morning, and it's light outside, and she has this small scoop of skin kind of taken out of her forehead, like right in between her eyes, kind of like up a little bit. And she said she just has, like a little scoop taken out of her skin or whatever. She kind of remembered at the time that she had this scoop, and she didn't really think about it. So she's kind of, regressing in memories. She said later on in life, I had this hypnosis regression, and I kind of pulled back these memories. And I remembered that. So at that time when I was a kid, they put this false memory, this screen memory in, that I had this dream that I was walking in the woods by my house, and I came across this walking stick that had 2 little eyes on it. It was like a cartoon kind of thing.
What?
It was really random. It made no sense to me.
Yeah.
I was just kind of going along with it. But she said, yeah, they tried to make me think that I had this really wacky dream.
That's
that I came across this walking stick, and somehow that tied into the device that was used on her forehead. Mm-hmm. So she really didn't, I mean, so going back to the story of when she woke up and she had this divot in her forehead, at that point she had this screen memory. So she just thought, oh, I had this really weird dream and I sleepwalked and maybe bumped my head or something.
Right.
She says she still has this divot in her forehead to this day, too.
That's crazy. Dude, do you think... So we all have crazy dreams.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Do you think a lot more of us are contacted than we think?
I think it's possible.
Just because, I mean...
I think everybody has that one reoccurring dream where, like... I mean, do you?
I have, yeah.
Where it's kind of questionable, like, okay, that's really freaking weird.
Or, like, you have a dream and it's, like, a place you've never seen, but it's familiar.
Uh-huh.
You're like, oh, shit, like, I've been here before, kind of.
Dude.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I can add to that. So I've had this recurring dream. I haven't had it in, like, maybe 10 years, but... growing up, I used to have this recurring dream, and it had to do with this, you know, Ren and Stimpy, the Ren, the little Chihuahua dog.
Yeah.
We used to have a little stuffed animal of him, or a little stuffed Ren. So my dream was I was walking through a forest, and this Ren doll is kind of sat up against this tree, and his like stomach kind of opens up this little doorway. It's kind of really random, but I would kind of slip into this doorway, like kind of crawl into it, and it would open up into this big open auditorium full of all my old toys as a kid.
Whoa.
And the weirdest part about this story, this recurring dream that I've had since I was a kid, is that I remember specific toys. And I mean, I think the first time I brought it up to my parents was, I was maybe like 10, maybe 11.
Yeah.
I said, Mom, did I ever have a blue little like plastic toy that was like a blue boat with a fishing rod hanging out the front? And she said, well, yeah, it's in storage right now. I mean, I can go grab it for you. And she brings it out, and it's the thing that I've seen in my dreams. And she said, but you haven't had that since you were 1 year old.
Yeah.
So we go, and like a couple years later, we're going through like family videos, you know, home videos, and I see this toy, and I'm a baby, like a little chubby baby.
Uh-huh.
But for some reason, I remember specifically what this toy looked like.
That's insane.
I don't know if that makes any sense, but So what's your?
So I actually last week, because I was so freaked out by it that like I had to tell Amanda.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of dark, but I had this dream where like I was in my work truck, and I got out and I had to go into the gas station, and when I came out of the gas station, my truck was gone. And I was like, what the heck? Like, I couldn't figure out, like, what happened. And I was like, damn, well, I guess I need to call my manager and let him know what's going on. And I was like, but until then, I guess, like, I can walk home.
Okay.
And it was down a street that, like, was familiar to me, but it wasn't a place I've ever been. Mm-hmm. Right? And there was these people walking around, and I could see them looking at me, and I felt a little uneasy about it.
People were looking at you?
People were like looking at me. And
weird.
So I was like, damn, I need to call my manager and let him know what's going on. And I remember pulling my phone out and scrolling through and seeing his name and getting ready to hit the call button. And right before I get ready to hit the call button, this man like walks over to me, behind me, and like over to the side of me, and he pulls out this little, it's almost like a nail file, but he like, I don't know if he was trying to like steal something from me or what, but he pulls this out and he swings it, right? He swings it and he cuts me on the shoulder.
Okay.
He cut me on the shoulder, and it like, it freaked me out.
A nail file?
Yeah, it was like a knife, but it looked kind of like a nail file. And he grabs me, and so I grab him by the shirt, and like I pull them in real close, and it's weird because like it was super vivid, like enough to where like I can like remember the details.
Yeah.
I pull him in, and he's trying to like stick me with this thing, and I pull my work knife out, and I pop it open and just stick him right in the top of the head.
What?
So,
Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
no, it was really dark, right?
Well, most of the times in dreams, it's like you can't even punch hard.
Yeah, exactly. And this was weird because I was like feeling it, bro. Like I stuck him in the top of the head, and then all of a sudden, I wake up.
Whoa.
I wake up and I'm like, damn. And I'm like, oh, that was insane. I was like, you know, my heart was pumping, and so I look out my window, and then my work truck isn't there.
In real life.
In real life, right? I wake up, my work truck isn't there, and I'm like, what the hell? So I'm like, maybe I parked it up front. So I run downstairs, and I go down the steps. I open the door, and I look. My work truck's not there either.
What?
But there's other guys from work that are outside, and I'm like, hey,
at your house?
I was like, hey, have you seen the work truck? And they were like, nah, man, I haven't seen the work truck. And then I realized I really did kill this guy.
Oh no.
My heart starts pumping super hard, and like I start freaking out. And then I wake up for real.
Oh, fuck, bro.
I had 2 dreams, like within one dream.
Dream, dude.
Inception. It was nuts.
Fuck that,
dude. And then, like, when I woke up, like, my heart was, like, pumping super hard. Because I was
sweating bullets.
I was like, what the heck just happened? Because, like, I woke up one time already.
Yeah,
I had already woke up.
I've heard of people doing the dream within a dream. That's never happened to me. So I mean,
that was intense.
But I get what you mean.
It was intense.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah, but God. I don't know. Like maybe that probably didn't have anything to do with
it's fine.
Aliens or nothing. But
that's what. Yeah.
But weird dream wise.
Well, the question was like maybe people have had experiences and they don't really know about it because they have these screen memories or dreams.
Right, like maybe I punched an alien in the face,
yeah,
and they were like, "Oh, you killed this guy. We're gonna screen memory you."
Yeah,
and, you know, and then like they tried to do something else, and then I had woke up, and they were like, "Shit, he woke up again."
Yeah,
right, and then they screen memoried me again, and then like I woke up actually in my house.
Who knows?
And, yeah, so I don't know,
dude. I mean, I know we're going off course, but I have to tell you this. I think I mentioned it to you, but like it was last week. It was right after we did our podcast on Wednesday, so I guess it might have been Thursday night. I wake up about maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, which is a very significant time to wake up, right?
3:33, 3:30-ish area.
Yeah, dude.
Area, 3 o'clock.
So I wake up around, it was like 3:12. Because I remember waking up, and it sounded like this. And that's what I woke up to. So I'm thinking like, man, is there like a bird in here? And at first I thought I was dreaming, but it was definitely real. I sat there and it was pitch black. I can't see anything. And I reach over to my phone. I look at the time. I'm thinking like, man, maybe I'm just, this is kind of my dreams or, it's a chemical imbalance kind of thing where I'm still dreaming, but I'm still awake or something.
Yeah.
But it was audibly, I could hear it, but it was as if it was right in my ear. It was so weird, man. It almost sounded like a phone ringing, but like it was right in my ear as if I had like headphones on. So I'm looking and I noticed like maybe it's my fan. Maybe it's my fan making this weird noise, like vibration. So I go and click off the fan, and sure enough, it stopped. But I don't know, man. I've never heard my fan make that noise ever. But my imagination ran wild that whole time, thinking like, holy shit, all right,
yeah,
something's about to happen. And I actually thought of this idea, like maybe this is maybe somebody's waiting for me. This is, hey, come outside, because I actually had the urge to like walk outside to see if there's anything out there, but I didn't. I was too scared.
Yeah, dude,
I was too scared, bro.
Yeah, totally.
I couldn't do it.
Fuck. Have you ever like been laying there awake, and then all of a sudden, like, you kind of like, sometimes I'll be laying and it'll be dark, it'll be quiet, and like I'm trying to fall asleep, and all of a sudden, like, I'll start hearing like music or something, and it like starts getting louder and louder, or like I'll hear like talking or something,
Yeah.
and it like gets louder and louder, and then like I pick my head up and it just like goes away.
Yeah. There's a name for that, because I looked it up, because this happens to me often. So you're not alone. This has happened to me. It happens to a lot of people. There's a thing. It's real. And what happens is, like, the chemical that tells your brain to go to sleep and then your body to be, hey, don't move.
Yeah.
There's something that happens sometimes when maybe you've had too much caffeine, or maybe you ate something weird, or maybe you're just not having enough sleep lately, or you're exhausted. That's apparently a normal thing that a lot of people experience.
Oh, dude, that's crazy.
Because, dude, I've experienced that too. Like, I'll start hearing like xylophone music sometimes. It's like ding, 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 ding. I don't know why I chose that song, but
yeah, it just sounds like maybe somebody has their radio on real loud outside or something. But then there's nothing. And
then sometimes I'll hear like a really big bang, like a But it's just, as soon as I wake up or like sit up, it's not actually happening.
Yeah.
It's definitely in your mind.
It's crazy.
No, yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
That's funny, or not funny, but I mean, that apparently it's very normal. I Googled it, and a lot of people experience that apparently.
That's crazy.
I don't know what it is. There's a name for it. I don't know what you would even call that.
Weird shit.
Weird shit.
Weird sleep shit.
Dude, maybe it's just tiny little aliens in your ears, just like playing music.
Maybe.
There's like a whole Star Wars bar going on in your ear canal.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. So back.
You left off with the scoop out of her head, and she woke up.
Yes.
And had the screen memory.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of going back and forth between time, because and this is just the way that she told me the story, where she later found out that, as a kid, she just thought that she had a weird dream, but as an adult, when she had this regressive hypnosis, then she figured out, like, she remembered what actually happened. So a lot of this is through screen memory, but the next one I'm about to tell you was not through screen memory. She definitely remembers this. Or hypnosis. She remembered this without hypnosis.
Right.
So the next story, I think there's 4. So the next one that she says is that a couple months later, after that first thing happened, I guess, or maybe it was like a year after, she has a girlfriend over, and they're playing or whatever, and it gets dark, and her friend's mother comes over to pick her up to take her back home. So she's in her bedroom, Susan is, and she explains, like, her bedroom also has a little door that goes to the outside. So it's like a back door kind of situation. So, her bedroom, and then there's a door. So her friend leaves, and then almost immediately as she leaves, like a couple minutes later, she gets a knock on this back door, and that never happens. I mean, she's a kid. She's like 13 maybe.
Yeah.
And she goes and checks and opens the door, and there's these 3 young boys standing there, and she recognizes all 3 of them as being classmates. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Guys, what are y'all doing here?" And they don't really. She said they just kind of seemed odd. Their stance was a little odd. They were kind of. I don't know that she looked at. She said they looked like they were in a trance of some sort.
Yeah.
And they said, "Where is so-and-so, her friend that left?" She said, "Oh, well, her mom came and picked her up. She's not here." And she said the 3 boys looked kind of disappointed, and, and said, "Well, when is she coming back?" And she said, "No, I think she's going to bed. We have school tomorrow." And then she explains, like, she said, "I noticed that their faces looked a little weird, like they were glowing a little bit. Like their faces looked like there was a soft glow around their cheekbones and their scalp or whatever." And, I kind of stopped her there, and I said, "Did it kind of look like a hologram, almost like a projection of sorts?" She said, "Actually, it looked like a hologram. It looked like something was being projected from something from their collarbone or something like that."
Whoa.
And it looked, because, it's dark outside.
Yeah.
There was no light on the back door. And their faces were illuminated. And then she says that's kind of weird. And then she notices that all 3 of these boys were wearing, like, clothes that they used to wear in, like, 4th grade, like really old clothes.
Huh.
And she called them out. She was like, "Why are y'all wearing such weird clothes? That's what are y'all doing? And they just kind of brush it off, and then they don't say goodbye or anything, and they just turn around and walk away.
Whoa.
So she recognizes these are 3 kids that she goes to school with. So the next day at school, she goes up to these boys and says like, hey, what was that all about? And they said, what are you talking about? Like, we were not at your house. And to this day, she says, now they're grown people, that they still deny they have ever went to her house.
Damn.
Which is really, really weird.
That's crazy.
Right?
That's crazy.
So that's the second one, the second instance. The third one is she's a bit older now. Now she's had a kid, so this is much later in life. So she has a daughter, and she's moved out of that house that she used to live in as a kid, but her sister now lives there. So she is taking her daughter to go visit her sister at her old house she used to live in. And it's like Bowie, Texas. It's out in the middle of nowhere. There's like dirt roads apparently, and there's just a little community. And she turns left on this main road, and she sees this big orange orb. And she said it looked really, really weird, almost as if it was like in a big bubble. Yeah. Which really hit me hard because that's the same exact thing that I described my experience in Belton, seeing those 5 orbs that had no refractive lighting. Like, there's streams coming off of like bulbs or whatever. This was like a self-contained orb or whatever. So she says she sees this big thing. It's like maybe 10 feet in diameter above one of the power lines that she's turning left. So it's in the middle of the day. Sun's out and all that. And her and her daughter just kind of ignore it. And I mean, that's what she said. She just ignores it and goes to her sister's house. And it's following her. She can see it in her rear view mirror. And it's just kind of following her. Shit. It's like maybe 50 feet away or something like that. And they get to her sister's house, and it's already like it sped past, and it's above her sister's house, which is her old house that she used to live in. And she's had all those experiences in. So it's this big orb hanging out above this house. So they get there, and they're freaking out. Like, she runs inside and says, her sister's name, like, hey, we have to, get out of here. These people are following us. These things are following us. You have to come out of the house. So her sister says, well, we'll come inside. We'll figure it out. So as soon as they come, Susan and her daughter walk inside. They're kind of panicking, going into the kitchen. As soon as they get into the kitchen, Susan looks around and realizes her daughter is gone.
Oh shit!
So now she's like, okay, well, where is she? So she's frantically with her sister looking through all the rooms in the house, can't find her daughter. Meanwhile, this orb, I mean, yeah, some of this doesn't make sense. Like, why would you go into the house with this orb above it? Like, leave. Like, something weird's about to happen.
Yeah. Like, maybe they had, like, her sister in a trance or something. It was like, come inside.
See, that's one of those questions I wish I would have asked. Like, well, what was the demeanor of your sister? Did she seem weird or whatever? So can't find her daughter. They're looking through all the rooms in the house. And then they go back to the front door, and there her daughter is standing, just like, hey, Mom, I'm right here. I've literally been standing here the whole time. So she's freaking out, and they walk outside. They all pile in her car to like drive away. So now everybody's in the car. They drive away, and the orb is not there anymore. So that's not the most exciting part about it, but that's just something that she experienced,
Whoa. That's pretty intense. Did you say something about how she had a friend growing up that that nobody else could see?
That's right. Yes. Man, that was the beginning of the story. I should have started with that.
Well, yeah.
Damn it.
It's all good.
Okay.
It's all good.
So, well, she started... Yeah, I was just reading off of my notes, and I totally spaced. But when she said, okay, well, I'll start at the beginning. She said, when I was a little girl, maybe 5, 6, I had an imaginary friend. And my parents just kind of dealt with it. It wasn't that big of a deal, but, they couldn't see it. She didn't say he or she. But I would physically play and jump around and throw the ball and play Barbies or cars and stuff with this thing. And it didn't look like a human. She said it just looked from her memory just looked kind of weird. And again, she says it might be like a screen memory where they're kind of blocking out what exactly it looked like.
Yeah.
That's another, I need to ask her, do you remember anything specific about their face?
Yeah.
Like big eyes or whatever.
It's kind of weird because remember Marlene's story? And she said that her daughter would like play in her room and then would make weird sounds and they'd be like, what? And she said that they're jumping around my room.
The same shit.
And they're like, what? And they're like, they're all jumping around my room. There's 6 of them.
Yeah. And
nobody could see them except for the little girl.
Right. And that's exactly what she said.
Oh,
so
dude.
Susan's like, yeah, as soon as her parents would open up the door, she would look to her left and her friend would be gone. Like, but you know, her parents never saw it. But she remembers. I said, "Do you remember physically like touching, or maybe not like in a weird way, but if you're playing cars or Barbies or something, you can physically see somebody moving objects around. Like, do you remember something physical?" She said, "Oh yeah, no, it was a real thing." Whoa. I should have asked, like, was it wearing clothes or like what? Anyway, I can always call her back and figure that out.
Yeah,
so that was the beginning.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And it's even crazier that it connects to Marlene's story too.
I know. There's even another story. I was watching a documentary, and the little girl, well, the lady, she said, when I was a little girl, I had gotten this new toy, and it was like a bubblegum machine, and I went outside to go play with it, and I met this thing, this being. And it was like, hey, it came out from behind the tree and was like, hey, you want to come with me? And as a little girl, she was like, I mean, yeah, I guess so. And took her, I guess, to this ship from what she remembers. And they introduced her to this little boy.
What?
And was like, do you mind if he plays with your toy as well? And she was like, yeah, go for it. And so they hung out for a little bit, and then they left. They dropped her back off where, right there in the little wooden section behind her house. There was like these little woods.
Yeah.
It was like a little creek. And they left, and she was looking around for her toy, and she couldn't find her toy. She went and told her mom, and her mom came out, and they searched all around the area that she was playing, and they couldn't find that little toy.
Dude.
But long story short, she said throughout her life she had met this little boy again and again, apparently aboard this ship.
Whoa. And
it kind of had to do with like the hybridization program, where they had shown her these 3 blue little figures.
Really?
And they came out, and they came and sat next to her and like put their hands like on her legs, and turns out that those were her children.
What?
Yeah, and she just like broke down crying, and was like,
was she a little girl when she was playing with these?
So she met this little boy, right, the first time, and then as she got a little bit older, she met the little boy again, and then as she got even older, then all of a sudden, she's,
the little boy's a man.
Now he's a man, and now she's, a young lady, but now this time there's these 3 beings that come out, and they're little kids, and apparently they were hers.
Oh,
and
shit.
The being that brought them out told her that these are your children, and so she's never seen this boy. She's never seen this boy that she's met these couple times on the ship. But she thinks that maybe, like, they have, like, children together.
Wow.
And it just so happens to be these 3 kids. And she's just met this guy throughout her life, only on the ship.
Yeah.
And she said she's tried to look for him, and she's never been able to find this guy. She's even looked in her hometown.
Was the guy a regular-looking human being, or?
Supposedly.
Oh, okay.
Supposedly.
Dang. Well, I mean, that's a Stan Romanek story, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
He actually found the girl, the lady that he was meeting in the ship.
Right.
He was, I don't want to say forced, but definitely had to engage in some relations.
Yeah. And then there was another one where there was a guy who was telling his story, and he had said that there was a lady, and he had sex with her, like, you know, on the ship or wherever it is. It's weird because they don't remember, like, if it's like a ship or if it's just a place that they get taken to that they don't know about, or you know, they don't remember, like, they don't know, like, I don't know if I'm taken to a ship, I don't know where they took me, I just know it's not where I'm supposed to be.
Well, the human memory is just so interesting and also just so faulty. Like, if you have to think about it, it's all chemicals, and any imbalance can really, really alter. Like, just how we were talking about sometimes hearing music when you're trying to fall asleep.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very manipulatable. Manipulative. There you go.
We do this twice an
Next
episode.
time on Ben Tries to Say Words.
But yeah, this guy, you know, he when he did regression hypnosis, he had said that, like, I feel like this lady is my wife.
Oh,
just from another, like, maybe dimension, or they're meant to be together.
Right. It's this connection.
And his, like, real actual wife, like, heard it, and she didn't know how to take it, because she was like, you know, like, am I just a placeholder for you here on Earth?
Yeah.
Until you go back wherever it is you're supposed to go to?
Right.
Like, do you have, like, another relationship? But this guy is just being abducted, right?
Right.
He has no clue, and he's like, I don't know, like, I feel like I'm living two lives. Like, I don't know, like, I have my regular life, but then, like, do I have another life somewhere? Like, am I supposed to be with these things, like, and I don't know it yet.
It makes me think of, okay, so let's maybe get to a place where, let's just agree for a second, just for the thought experiment, that this hybridization experiment is real and it's happening. So let's maybe push it a step further. Maybe these extraterrestrials don't really have the same emotions that we have. So they've been trying all these different methods to get us to breed and make these hybrids or whatever, but it's all been very forceful. But to them, it's not a big deal because they don't really have the emotions that we have.
Right.
So now they're kind of adapting, and they're like, you know what? I've started to notice that when they're in love with the person, the energy that's put into these, because I really do think that matters. It's kind of woo woo.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you really have a connection with somebody and you procreate with that person, it creates a good soul. You know, there's some good energy put into that thing.
Totally.
There's no proof of that. That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe they're adapting their experiments into incorporating this element of love and this connection thing.
Yeah,
so
probably.
So now they're not only forcing the, let's say insemination of, what the stories that we've heard, but they're forcing this, like, bond, and they're just kind of experimenting with that. That could be possible, right?
Dude. I mean, it's very possible, because I don't think anybody actually knows.
No.
Even the people who are being abducted and are going through these experiences, they really don't know either, right?
Yeah.
Some are like, it's rape.
Yeah.
And some people are like, I feel a connection with this thing.
Yeah.
And then some people are like, fuck, I had no idea I was even pregnant.
Yeah.
Right?
Right, yeah. The seeding, all those stories that we watched. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's pretty crazy, but...
So just, take the scenario where it is kind of that scenario where this person does feel violated and this was forced upon this woman, and she conceives, and maybe that being or whatever comes out, and it's just kind of an asshole. And they're like, all these hybrids are coming out as assholes.
Yeah. We got a bunch of little shitheads running around.
Yeah, they're like, Mom! In the line at Walmart, like, I want the toy!
Yes.
They're like, what do we do? So they're like really annoyed. Like, fuck, we're surrounded by all these shithead kids.
Like maybe if we make them fall in love. Yeah. Dude. Like maybe love is the experiment to them.
You know how like we can't comprehend the technology that aliens have to traverse the universe?
Yeah.
Traverse the universe. The band, the experience.
Yeah.
Maybe love is something that we just inherited and it's very natural for us. And they're like, how the hell are they affecting the forces of reality so effortlessly? Maybe it's the same idea. As we look
are they they're emotionally affecting surroundings with emotions. Dude, how is that a thing?
Full circle on our observing the universe, dude. And that brings me back to what we've talked about in the past, that like I feel like we're much more powerful beings than we give ourselves credit for. We just don't know what we're doing, and we don't realize it because the timeline that we're experiencing things on. I mean, what if that's the whole idea, is that us experiencing things does change reality?
Yeah.
And other beings don't have that. All they have is like very physical technology, technology-driven things, and they're like very ant-like. But we're just like changing the universe left and right with our dumbass decisions. Like, I'm going to go to Whataburger instead of McDonald's, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what
exactly. I mean? Yeah, dude. It's not as calculated.
Yeah.
It's very free.
Yeah.
It's very flowing.
I love that idea.
But these things aren't doing that because it's very calculated. Like, And I heard somebody say the other day, and it kind of made me think of it on how, how like Bob Lazar was saying that like, just because they have this technology doesn't necessarily mean that, like, yes, it is more advanced than us, but it's just because they came from a different place. Yeah. So maybe that mineral was just more abundant in that area, and they started at the same place as us. They just are able to make things fly, right? Just because of the elements that are where they're from.
Yeah, like their first step wasn't steam powered. It was anti-gravitic technology because they had the materials.
But then they come here and they're like, how are they converting coal into energy? Yeah. That's insane. Like they're trying to figure that out. Like, wait, they're digging stuff out of the ground in like oil and like making like cars move with oil or something? Like, what is that?
Yeah, who's to say that the progression of technology has to be the exact same way we have?
Yeah.
They're probably just as perplexed as we are.
Yeah, it sounds dumb to us, right? Especially now with like all the climate stuff going on. We're like, we're just stupid and we're doing all, but like maybe they're here observing that and they're like, shit, I want to learn how to do that. That looks kind of cool. Yeah. Like they're making fire. Fire! All we have, and the aliens are like, all we have is these stupid laser beams, right? All we have is tractor beams, and like we just pick shit up with light. Like that's so gay.
Pick shit up with light.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, they're like, these guys are like blowing shit up. And like, how do they do that?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just food for thought.
Look at the contrast between this like really silently flying UFO, this beautiful little disc that makes no noise and just moves sporadically, and like something that's not even there, and then you contrast that with like an A-10 Warthog.
Yeah,
like a that Gatling gun. It's just like
it's just.
It's much more.
You're just
effective.
In an airplane. You're constantly shaking the whole time. You're just praying to God you don't fall out of the sky in it. It's so like just rudimentary compared to like the UFO.
Dude,
they're fascinated with that.
The planes that we fought wars in, like WW2, like dude, what?
Yes.
Those things were barely held together. How the hell?
Yeah,
man.
I mean they're still barely held together. Honestly. Yeah, it's so funny, dude. But yeah, man, I mean, it's there's definitely something to think about, man. I mean, we definitely come from two different worlds,
or many different worlds,
many different worlds. Yeah.
Listen to what the flower people say. The druids, no one knew who they were. Oh, what they were doing. Stonehenge. It's like 2 feet tall.
What is this? That's the design that you gave me.
Yeah.
What? No.
Scale. It goes him to his knee. Stonehenge. It's like it comes out of those little tiny wires.
Hilarious. And then they hired the midgets to dance around because it was too small.
Yeah. One of my other than that, my other favorite scene is the little like alien pod. The bass player,
he gets stuck in it.
Yeah. And the whole song he's trying to get out. At the very end of the song, they like playing that last note, and he finally gets out.
And everybody goes in, and then he busts out. He's like, "Yeah!" And he's like, "Oh shit!" Like,
gets back in.
We're talking about Spinal Tap, by the way.
Tap.
Oh man, if you've never seen it, definitely check out Spinal
No one
Tap.
knew who they were or what they were doing.
Oh, it's such a good movie, man. I love that movie. I love that movie.
We need to have like a podcast, like, or maybe like a live podcast where we watch movies. I think we've already talked about this, but like talk about the movies as we're watching it.
Hell yeah.
And dude, we could do like a live thing where everybody could press play at the same time as we do, so we're watching it at the same time.
Hell yeah,
that'd be
dude.
Kind of cool.
Yes. I love how their drummers always like die. Like their drummers always blow up.
Right. They go through like 18 drummers.
And he's like, yeah, he choked on vomit. And he's like, oh, that sucks. He choked on his own vomit. No, actually, it was someone else's vomit.
Dude, I can't remember who it is, but I think it's one of the main actors. I think it's their manager that's like a big time actor now. I can't remember who it is.
Really?
Dude, I kind of want to look it up real quick. I mean, it's going to be some dead air right now, but Tap. Dude, I really want to show you because it's like oh, well, not that. Spinal Tap the movie. Jesus.
We were originally called the Originals.
Dude, it's so. Oh, it's the lead. It's the lead singer, the dude with the blonde hair.
Who is
he? He plays the brother in Better Call Saul. He's in a bunch of different movies though.
What?
Yes, dude. He's like a big actor.
Dude, I never realized that.
Michael McCain. Michael McKean.
God.
That's the lead singer, bro.
Dude,
right?
I never even thought about
Isn't that nuts?
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Michael McKean.
That's insane. That's hilarious.
I don't know. I mean, he's in a bunch of different stuff, but he was on SNL a couple of times. That's super dope. So shout out to Michael McKean, dude. What's up, bro? You want to be on the podcast?
Come on.
Be on the podcast.
This is Spinal Tap. Dude, yeah, that's a great movie, man. It's hilarious. I love that shit.
Dude, I want to do this thing where we go to, like, first off, we should take a trip to Pumapunku. I would love to go there.
Big giant blocks.
Giant blocks. We're in the back listening to it.
He was speaking and we just couldn't keep it couldn't keep it together. We were like, giant block.
We were like,
he almost said it.
He's about to say giant.
But every time we thought he was gonna say it, he would switch the
else,
word. He'd be like, these giant monolithic structures.
Yeah, dude. So now I've been watching the old. I started from like season 1 on Ancient Aliens, and he's in almost every episode, and he never says it. He says it maybe like one time. Isn't that weird?
Oh,
Isn't that weird? But no, it's always like at the last minute he changes it from blocks to monolithic structures.
I mean, these blocks were everywhere. Oh, I love that guy, man.
I know, he's awesome.
He's got, he's
like one of the most well-researched guys. It's just...
Dude, yeah.
All right.
He's got his shit together for sure.
Totally, dude.
For sure.
It's just, he's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, man. Giant.
He was like, on these giant balls. And he was talking about the giant balls that were like,
oh yeah, that's right.
I was like, oh, you didn't say spheres.
You said balls.
You said balls. These giant balls.
These balls of rock were so solid.
Here's a picture of me standing on the balls.
Yes. No one knows where these balls came from. Dude, I showed you that photo. I went to New Zealand and actually stood on one of those giant balls.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, that was actually really weird. I didn't take enough photos of that. I don't know what it is, honestly. I can't tell. But what they didn't show in that photo was towards the bank of the ocean, there's like a cliff. And then out towards the sand, there's these big giant balls of rock. But towards the bank of the cliff, there's these like almost like lava tube almost things where it's like this little tube coming out of the side of the cliff, and then below it is this. It's hard to describe. It's like this ring shape around this big rock. So there's a big boulder. So it's almost like a melted rock had spewed out of these lava tubes, and then some of that solidified, and then there was another eruption, and then it melted some of that rock, and it created this little moat around it. It's a really weird structure. It's probably online, but what he didn't show was that aspect of it, to where it might explain where those balls came from. They might have just hung out there and made a big ball, and they just rolled off. Like it could be totally geological or whatever.
Yeah. But they're all over the world though.
They're all exactly.
They're all over the world in random ass places.
In places where there's not volcanoes too. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, man. But there's definitely some giant ass balls out in New Zealand on that coast.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Well, this monkey's looking at me like he wants to throw some poop at me. I'm looking at this Theory of a 100th Monkey.
Dude, I will punch a monkey in the face.
You'll punch a monkey, dude?
If it threw poop at me.
What if it's like a sign that he respects you? Would you throw poop back?
Damn. No, I would punch that goddamn monkey in the face.
I'll punch that guy.
Okay. I will show you respect, sir. Yes. UFO Con 2020, San Francisco, California. February 20th, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd.
So, San Francisco, California.
Dude, it looks like it's going to be pretty sick.
That's a really epic background.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
Dope, dude.
Yeah, when she comes on the show next week,
I'm super stoked. About it. Dude, so next week is going to be our 20th episode. Can you believe it? We made it this far?
Dude, yes.
We've stuck with it, and we did it.
20 episodes.
It wasn't just a fun idea. We're still doing it.
Hell
dude.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
It's the best part of my week.
We definitely need to take shots, eat cake, celebrate.
Test some shots, dude. Test some shots.
Should we maybe while we record it, like maybe we can also go live.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
I'm down. I just got to not mess it up like I did last time.
Well, it won't matter because at least we're recording it.
Yeah.
So if you do mess it up, then we'll be all good still.
Dude, if we sell a couple of shirts in between now and next Friday, we might have enough to buy a GoPro.
That would be
sick.
So
we could actually video it.
That would be sick.
With some high quality. Instead of doing it on my freaking laptop. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Definitely, dude. Definitely. Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
Well, I'm out of things to talk about, man. That was a great episode.
Yeah, me too.
That was dope.
That was good.
Check out our sponsors, abduction51.com. Use the code UFO Garage for 10% off.
Your total purchase.
Your total purchase, baby. And check out Phoenix Shaving. I need to put on their website the link because there's no code. So I need to to update our website.
Yeah.
With that.
And don't forget, guys, next week we've got a big guest coming on.
Episode 20.
Awesome. Lorian Fenton from the Fenton Files. If you guys don't know who that is, definitely go check her out. The Fenton Files is awesome. She's got a great show. It's on KCOR radio. Man, she's got awesome guests. Some of the guests she has on are actually going to be at the UFO Con 2020. But, man, has she got some stories, dude. I'm telling you.
Just wealth of knowledge, like a fountain of knowledge.
Yeah.
And she's so cool, too. Like, very, very well, like, researched, and she knows what she's talking about. She's one of the people that we met at UFO Congress, and, man, she just kind of...
Just opened up and let us pick her brain a little bit,
really
dude.
just opened up and, like, right off the bat, super warm and kind of knew that we were new to this and kind of flipped a lot of what we believed at the time on its head and turned around,
man,
opened up our eyes to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, she's super awesome, super nice. Just has so much information. Maybe we can get her to talk about the super soldiers with us.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool. And mind control, because that's kind of like up her alley. She loves that kind of stuff. Apparently, from what she was saying.
Dude,
so
yes.
Yeah, man. Like I said, she's gonna take us to school. She's gonna take everybody listening to school on some of these subjects. So really, like, I don't even know what to look into before she comes on the show. Like, I really just want to use this opportunity to let her speak about what she knows.
Yeah. It could go in any different direction. Like, we talked about so many different subjects. I feel like, we could just go for a couple hours on just anything.
Absolutely. So yeah, I really want to use this time just to kind of pick her brain. If there's anything that you guys want to know about, shoot us an email or just hit us up on the Facebook page and say, hey, ask her this, and we'll ask her and see if she knows a little something about it, because she's pretty knowledgeable. Her show is called the Fenton Files.
Files.
So she is going through documents and files and finding all kinds of cool, legit stuff. So yeah, listen to some of her stuff, and then if you have any questions that you would like us to ask based on like what you've heard her talk about, anything specific. Yeah, totally.
We'll do that. So just email us or hit us up on Facebook. That'd be awesome.
Totally.
Also, so just another little plug. Ryan Sprague, Sprague. Yeah, you sent me his stuff a while back, and I told you before the podcast, like, hey, I found this new podcast. It's called Somewhere in the Skies, and it's like really well researched, and it sounds really cool. And you said, yeah, I sent that to you months ago, idiot. So I don't really know the guy. He just kind of started following us. I'd like to plug his stuff because it's really well researched, really well done. Check out his podcast, Somewhere in the Skies. But yeah, Somewhere in the Skies, really cool podcast. Check him out. That'd be awesome. I don't know. I just kind of want to.
Yeah, and he did a little show on the CW.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Well. Yeah.
Nice.
He talked about Area 51.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet show.
Down.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and he's written a couple books. He liked our page.
Yeah.
So I'd like to contact him and see if maybe we can get him on the show too.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, because in the episode that he did, him and Jeremy and the chick, they were all sitting down and they were talking about Bob Lazar and Area 51, and so he's definitely done his homework.
Oh yeah,
definitely done his homework.
Sounds like it. I think I'm listening to the 127 1967, the year of the UFO, and I'm only like 10 minutes in, but it's already really good.
Yeah, dude.
Like, it's just fact after fact after fact. I mean, it's definitely different than our vibe. Like, we just kind of talk about stuff. But this is like, if you're really wanting to learn something like historical and write down numbers and take notes, like, go listen to this guy.
Yeah, he seems pretty awesome. So. Yeah. All right, man.
But yeah, episode 20 next week, Friday.
Episode 20,
with
dude.
Maureen Fenton, dude. Huge deal. Let's do something special, man. I mean, I know you said shots. Let's do something. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. Maybe, like I said, maybe we can live stream it.
I think that'd be cool. Yeah, if we get the GoPro, dude, we could do the live stream. That'd be sick.
Oh yeah, super sick.
All right, cool.
All right,
we'll see y'all on Friday. Or maybe we do 2 podcasts next week. Do it on Wednesday and then Friday. I don't know what your plans are. But
I want to save the big 2-0 for something special.
All right, let's do it.
All right, dude. Well, I think I'm good, man. You good?
I'm good, bro.
Alrighty, man. Well, hey, guys, this was another episode of UFO Garage. We'll talk to y'all next time.
No, we knew who they were or what they would do.
I'm a pimp. I walk with a limp. I step inside Pappadeaux, eating no shrimp. I'm a